Hello and a very good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and over the next 1 hour, we're putting our complete focus on the extremely severe Cyclone Biparjoy. Gujarat fully geared up, fully prepped to ensure they're ready for this massive storm that's headed their way in 20 hours from now. This cyclone is going to be making landfall, and before that, as you see here on the screen behind me, the impact of this storm, of the cyclone, already being felt in the coastal parts of Gujarat. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. We'll be running you through all the latest coming in on Biparjoy. Here are the headlines first. 14-day judicial custody for TN Minister Senthil Balaji. The Mantri was hospitalized and in ICU for chest pain after his arrest. Stalin blames the Enforcement Directorate for Senthil's health. Violence in Bengal rages on. Bombs hurled in South 24 Parganas. Bombs in buckets found in Bankura district. Clashes between TMC and opposition take centre stage. Karnataka Minister M.B. Patil invites Adani and Ambani to invest in the state. This after the minister had said that Karnataka was keen on heading operations and maintenance of airports on its own. Amid Ad Rao, Maharashtra government's Hum Saath Saath Hai damage control message to the BJP. Shinde government releases new ad, this time featuring Fadnavis and Shinde as the face of development and growth. 9 dead in fresh Manipur violence. Arson and firing reported in the district of Kangpokpi. This is the largest casualty in a single incident. And Donald Trump pleads not guilty in classified documents case. Court releases Trump citing no potential flight risk. And even as we're reporting on Cyclone Biparjoy, remember we've been telling you that Kutch is going to be one of the worst affected by the cyclone. And unfortunate news coming in right now is that tremors have been felt in Kutch, and this is a day before the cyclone makes landfall. The information we're picking up is that the magnitude of the quake itself is 3.5. So it doesn't look like it was strong tremors. In all likelihood, it was mild tremors felt by locals in Kutch. But this is happening a day before the cyclone makes landfall, which is why there will be a bit of concern about damages as well, particularly to property, to homes and their foundation. Brijesh Doshi is joining us live right now with more on that. Brijesh, tell us where you are. If you're in Kutch, did you feel that tremor?
Actually, I'm not in Kutch. I'm at Dwarka from last 3 days. Our colleague Gopi Maniar and Ashutosh are in Kutch, but the tremors were very normal, and it's actually there are the seismic plates, and this is the normal activity as far as concerned with the Kutch, but it is severe, or it is a concern because tomorrow there will be a cyclone's landfall. So that's why it is important that the 3.5 magnitude tremors were felt in the Kutch. It is around 5 kilometers southwest from the city of Bachau, so that is far away from the Jakho area, but still the tremors were felt by the locals, and there weren't any news of the casualty or any kind of harm to effect to the buildings also. So this is the normal actually for the Kutch, people of the Kutch, but still the news is important because of the cyclone is coming towards the Kutch tomorrow noon. By tomorrow noon, it's landing at Jakho port. So that's why it's important. Right now, I'm at Kutch. I'm showing you the visual. I'm asking my cameraman Travel to show you the visuals of the rough sea right now at Dwarka. And the heavy wind is blowing on almost around more than 70 km/h. The speed is right now currently of the wind. Also, the IMD, Indian Met Department, has predicted that it will be around 100 km/h by tomorrow. Red alert issued by the Indian Met Department for Kutch and Dwarka for tomorrow because the severe cyclonic storm Biparjoy is landing at Jakho. Around the landfall will be around at Jakho or Mandvi, so that's why the activity in the sea is very rough. The tides are high, the current is very much high from the last 2 days. I'm reporting from these same
yeah,
place.
Brajesh, I'll come back to you. From what you're telling us, the situation is definitely concerning, and I'm going to be focusing on the cyclone, the impact in Dwarka in just a bit. But in the meanwhile, I want to bring in right now Gopi Manyar, who's joining us live right now from Kutch. Gopi, क्या आपको कुछ impact लगा था इस भूकंप का?
बिल्कुल, देखिए नबीला, जिस वक्त जहाँ पे हम लोग मांडवी में मौजूद हैं वहाँ पे तो इसका एहसास नहीं किया गया है, लेकिन बचाव में लोगों ने इस ट्यूमर को ज़रूर महसूस किया है। 3.5 रिक्टर स्केल का ये अर्थक्वेक आया, जिसको लेकर जो लोग हैं वो अपने घरों से बाहर निकल आए, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं भूकंप जो है गुजरात के अंदर इसी कच्छ जिले ने 2001 में सबसे बड़ा भूकंप झेला था, जब हज़ारों लोगों की मौत हुई थी। और अब जब चक्रवात आ रहा है और उसके साथ साथ भूकंप के जो झटके हैं वो भी महसूस किए गए। 3.5 रिक्टर स्केल का ये भूकंप का झटका था जो बचाव के और आसपास के लोगों ने महसूस किया है। कई लोग अपने घरों से बाहर आ गए, यानी एक और जहां चक्रवात की आपदा आ रही है तो वहीं दूसरी ओर भूकंप के भी यहाँ के लोगों के भूकंप भी यहाँ पे भूकंप के झटके भी महसूस किए गए। साथ ही मैं आपको बताऊँ कि तेज हवाएं जो बिपरजॉय चक्रवात है उसकी जो हवाएं हैं, तेज हवाएं।
Okay, we apologize for that audio, but I'm sure you can understand the difficulty through which Gopi is reporting for us from. You can see that the wind speeds around her are also picking up. Remember that the Met Department has warned the wind speeds could reach up to 150 kilometers per hour tomorrow when the cyclone makes landfall. It's expected at about 3 p.m. tomorrow, Biparjoy will hit the Gujarat coast, and that's why all preparations are underway. The central government, state government have all put their focus on ensuring that the casualty count can be kept to a minimum. Over 30,000 people have been evacuated so far, particularly from the coastal regions, which is why you see in all of these coastal parts, it wears a completely deserted look. NDRF, SDRF teams, all of them have been deployed along with additional teams being put on standby. Let's round up for you all the updates on the preparations underway for Cyclone Biparjoy.
Waves, howling winds, boats anchored tightly in harbors. Residents seek refuge from the brewing tempest. Coastal Gujarat feels Biparjoy's punch a day before the powerful cyclone strikes.
Tomorrow onwards, perhaps there will be also power line disrupted near the coastal line to avoid any further potential damage. But for now, what I see here at Mandvi port, the last effort by the locals, the fishermen, is being done to save their lifelong assets. This will be only and one and only source of income for these fishermen community. So, of course, they all are praying for passage of this cyclone as soon as possible. But yes, there is apprehension, there is concern, and of course, they are scared.
Once bustling fishing jetties are now deserted. Forceful gusts have bent trees, sent thatched roofs soared through the air. Emergency crews supplying essentials and carrying out urgent evacuations from the path of the storm. At least 45,000 people moved to safer locations so far.
गुजरात में 15 तारीख को तकरीबन शाम के समय इस साइक्लोन का लैंडफॉल होने वाला है। इसके मद्देनज़र एनडीआरएफ की 18 टीमों की तैनाती की गई है और एसडीआरएफ की भी 13 टीम वहां पर मौजूद हैं। वहां पर मैसिव इवैक्यूएशन किया गया है। तकरीबन 45,000 से ज़्यादा लोग सुरक्षित स्थान पर पहुंचाए गए हैं।
Like a benevolent fortress, a border outpost of the BSF in Kutch has swung open its gates, offering sanctuary to the weary souls from the impending fury of Biparjoy.
ये सारे फिशरमैन हैं जो यहाँ पे मछुआरी करके अपना जीवन बसर करते हैं, लेकिन अब उनको भी डर लगने लगा है, उनको भी डर सता रहा है, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं उनको लग रहा है कि साइक्लोन जो है वो सबसे ज्यादा इसी इलाके को प्रभावित करेगा। आप बताइए कितना डर लग रहा है, क्योंकि आप तो फिशरमैन है, तरवैया है और हमेशा समुद्र के साथ रहते हैं आप लोग।
हमको बहुत डर लगा मैन, बच्चे से हमारे लेडीज बच्चे सब है, इसलिए हम बहुत डरे हुए।
आप बताइए समुंदर को इस तरीके से आपने पहले उफान पर देखा था कभी?
नहीं सर, अभी नहीं देखा है, अभी देखना पड़ रहा है। ये सब बच्चे के लेडीज को डर है, पर हमको तरवरिया है, हमको डर नहीं आता है, बच्चे के साथ डर होता है।
A well-defined swirling mass over the Arabian Sea. Biparjoy expected to make landfall between Mandvi in Gujarat and Karachi in southern Pakistan by Thursday evening. 7 people have died so far, 4 of them in Mumbai and 3 in Gujarat. The deaths attributed to accidents stemming from extreme weather conditions. The NDRF teams have panned across parts of Gujarat, Karnataka, Mumbai, Daman and Diu. Packing sustained wind speeds between 125 and 135 kilometers per hour, which may gust up to 150. The potential for significant damage from Biparjoy remains high. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you a live update right now on the movement of Cyclone Biparjoy. This is in fact a live tracker that we've opened up for you. Let me just zoom in to show you exactly where the storm is placed right now. This right here is the system that's headed, as you can see, straight for Gujarat and parts of Karachi there. Now you can see already that the outer bands are close to Gujarat, which is why you're seeing a lot more rain, wind speeds picking up, as our reporters just showed you. It's when the eye of the storm really moves inward, hits this particular area of Kutch, that you're going to see maximum impact of the cyclone being felt. This is just the wind speeds, which shows you here, particularly in this particular part, that it will touch nearly 150 kilometers per hour. Let me show you the projected trajectory right now. And this is for this particular time at 6 p.m. As it moves forward, just track this particular circle here as it's moving inward. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. is when you'll see the eye of the cyclone actually making its way in. And you can see largely it's in the north part of Gujarat that the impact will be felt. As it moves inward, as the system moves in, the rain will reduce, wind speeds will reduce. But tomorrow morning and afternoon is when you will really see the maximum brunt of the cyclone being felt. So this right here is the movement of the cyclone. Let me take this across to our reporters on the ground, reintroducing them once again. Gopi Manyar is joining us live from Kutch. We also have from Dwarka, Brijesh Doshi. We'll have Ashutosh with us in just a bit. But let me bring in Gopi first on this broadcast. Gopi, जैसे आप हमको दिखा रहे थे इसके पहले कुछ ही मिनट पहले, wind speeds काफी अभी पिकअप हो गए हैं।
बिल्कुल, देखिए काफ़ी विंड स्पीड जो है वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है। कच्छ के मांडवी में हम है, यहाँ से 220 किलोमीटर की दूरी पर साइक्लोन है, लेकिन उसका जो इम्पैक्ट है वो यहाँ पे देखने मिल रहा है। लगातार बारिश भी हो रही है और साथ ही तेज़ हवाएं भी चल रही है। अब समुद्र के किनारे से सभी लोगों को यहाँ से हटा दिया गया है। जो लोग समुद्र के किनारे पे पहुँचे हुए थे उनको भी धीरे धीरे अब यहाँ से हटाया जा रहा है, क्योंकि साइक्लोन जो है वो कल से लेकर उसकी जो एक्टिविटी है वो यहाँ पे कच्छ के इलाके में सबसे ज़्यादा होगी। और जब लैंडफॉल होगा तो मांडवी और पाकिस्तान के कराची के बीच में ये लैंडफॉल होना है। तो वैसे में जो 3 किलोमीटर का पूरा रेडियस है वहाँ पे लोगों को खाली करवा दिया गया है। एनडीआरएफ की 17 टीमों को पूरे गुजरात में डिप्लॉय किया गया है, क्योंकि इसका जो सबसे ज़्यादा इफेक्ट होगा वो कच्छ के अलावा द्वारिका, पोरबंदर, जामनगर, मोरबी, इन इलाकों में भी होना है। तो वहाँ पे भी एनडीआरएफ की टीम को डिप्लॉय किया गया। अकेले कच्छ में 4 एनडीआरएफ की टीम को डिप्लॉय किया गया है। आखिरी इवैक्यूएशन अगर कहें तो वो शाम के वक्त आज जो किया गया वो फिशरमैन कॉलोनी को खाली करवा दिया गया, क्योंकि फिशरमैन हमेशा समुद्र के पास रहते हैं। तो उनको कहीं ना कहीं ये लग रहा था कि जो समुद्र का पानी है वो उनके घरों तक पहुँच जाएगा, लेकिन उनको कहीं डैमेज नहीं होगा। लेकिन प्रशासन ने एहतियातन सभी लोगों को यहाँ से निकाल दिया है, क्योंकि 3 किलोमीटर का ये रेडियस जो है उसे खाली करवा दिया गया। हवाएं जो है वो करीब 120 से लेकर 130 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटे की रफ्तार से यहाँ पे चलने वाली है। तो वैसे में सारी तरीके की जो प्रिकॉशन है कच्छ डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर जिस तरीके से प्रिकॉशन लिए जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि देखिए नबीला साइक्लोन जो है माफ़ कीजिएगा साइक्लोन जो है वो पूरा कच्छ के सिरक्रिक इलाके से ये टकराने वाला है और साइक्लोन जब कच्छ के सिरक्रिक इलाके से टकराएगा तो उसका इम्पैक्ट जो है वो 100
Just a reminder once again to our viewers that as our reporters bravely stand there and get us these live updates on the cyclone, we're going to have a bit of trouble really connecting with them and getting you a perfect audio, because you can see that there is quite a bit of wind and the rain that's kicked off in most of these coastal regions. Let me bring in Ashutosh also, who's joining us live right now from Mandvi in Gujarat. Another particular area where it's expected that the impact of the cyclone will be felt come tomorrow. And looks like already it started, Ashutosh. There are the outer bands of the cyclone which have started hitting parts of Gujarat right now.
Absolutely, and the pre-impact is quite visible. Since morning there have been raindrops, and here what you see, the wind speed is literally higher than since morning. So from yesterday, if we compare, the wind speed has almost double. And even standing here in the open terrain is next to impossible. Now just pan out, of course the ocean is quite rough now, and it is very difficult in fact to get you even those images, because the resistance, the camera and the cameraman entire with the equipment spacing, that really makes difficult. And the ambience that you're getting, perhaps the noise and disruption of the audio because of the high wind speed. But for now, since the preventive measures have already been taken, and now people are just waiting for this impact with a hope and prayers that there will be minimum and perhaps minimum damage to the public property. And if I could just take you to another side, which is the locality dominated by the fishermen community living along this coastal line of Kutch and the western Kutch part of this Mandvi to Mundra to all these areas, which will be eventually the epicenter of the tragedy once the the storm, the cyclone hits this coastal line. So here all these places have been evacuated. Electricity line has been disconnected to prevent any further major damage. And of course continuously patrolling on this coastal line of the road, continuous patrolling being done by the police. So evacuation process is completed, assessment has been done. In fact, the local port and all these machinery as a preventive measure, the trees have been felled down already, so avoid there is no further damage to the electricity when it comes to the restoring of our post cyclone. So all these preventive measures have been taken place. People are in safer places, and now they are monitoring, keeping a close eye as far as impact of the cyclone is concerned. Several trains from this western region have also been diverted. Several trains have been cancelled. When it comes to the Mundra industrial areas, people who have been working near the coastal line have been safely taken to their places. So it's all just a matter of hours now. We will see probably the impact, the pre-impact before its arrival, before it touches the coastal line. Probably will start around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. But we are already seeing there's no high wind speed, a rough ocean totally.
Fingers crossed that all the steps that have been taken really pays off, and we don't really see any sort of impact as far as casualties and damage to property is concerned. I want to bring in Gopi Maniyar once again on this. She's in fact getting us those live updates from the ground. Gopi, wahan pe jahan aap ho, all right, we've lost the connection with Gopi. We'll reconnect with her in just a bit. In the meanwhile, let me get you and round up for you all the images that we've been tracking here on India Today of Cyclone Biparjoy. Authorities in Gujarat are also on high alert as Cyclone Biparjoy will make its landfall on June 15th. Gujarat's Dwarka is witnessing a high tide along with rough sea conditions. Cyclonic activity has caused concern among residents. Authorities have cautioned people to avoid going anywhere close to the coastline. Powerful waves crashing onto the coast of Mumbai as well. The city too is bracing for impact of Cyclone Biparjoy. High tidal waves were reported. Unfortunately, there was that incident that was also reported from Juhu of kids going missing due to the high tides. Authorities thereby have advised people to stay away right now from beaches. As Cyclone Biparjoy barrels towards the Kutch coast in Gujarat, authorities have evacuated people from low-lying areas, from coastal areas of the state. The government has set up more than 400 shelter homes in Dwarka district. It's also directed authorities to be on high alert and take all necessary steps when the cyclone hits. Essentials including vegetables, milk, all of that has been provided to residents who've been moved out of their homes. Police officials in Gujarat, particularly in Jafrabad, were seen delivering essential items to residents. They've suspended all fishing activities as well till June 16th. There are several other states who are also on alert right now. Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Goa, Lakshadweep. The Met Department has predicted there will be rainfall here. Besides that, the Met Department has said strong winds also could be reported in some of these areas. The evacuation process is in full swing across Gujarat's coastal areas. In Mandvi, you've got the NDRF that's begun evacuating a majority of residents and have now been moved to safer places. NDRF personnel are also actively patrolling the area. Kutch is likely to be the worst affected, where all the villages near the coastline thereby have been evacuated. The border security force are now giving shelter to people along the border villages. And these are stories of heroes who've emerged amid this fear of a cyclone. A pregnant woman was safely taken to a hospital after Marine Police arranged a boat in the midst of the raging seawater and took her to a hospital. More acts of kindness amid the cyclone fear. Over 5,000 food packets are being made ready in the Swami Narayan temple in Mandvi. These packets will be distributed in the nearby villages which are on alert. In Surat, the impact of Biparjoy was also seen on the Suvali beach. Sea waves hit the shores, causing a lot of damage to temporary shops that were set up. The Surat administration, in view of this cyclone, has already closed off the Damas beach and the Suvali beach. With those images, I'm slipping into a very short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. Coming up on the other side, we get you more ground reports, more live updates. From 8 tomorrow morning, we're expecting to see the full impact of Cyclone Biparjoy. All steps have been taken to ensure we're fully prepared, but is it enough? We'll tell you in just a bit.
From a policymaker's perspective, last 3 years, constant challenges, a new surprise coming up. It was COVID, then it was the recovery and how we saw divergence in the economic recovery, then Ukraine, and who knew people were looking up the internet to find out what is this country that supplies over $1 billion worth of sunflower seeds to India, you know, things that were not perhaps in the mass domain. Your own sense that could a deficient monsoon play spoil sport with that sense of optimism that we are seeing in several sections of the economy?
I do not think so. I think we have the wherewithal to tackle even a bad monsoon. Of course, how bad, you know, we do not know how bad it is going to be. But supposing it is 3 or 4% shortfall in rains, I think we would be able to handle that. You know, even in a year of normal monsoon, for example, last year, the monsoon was 107% of long period average. But as I wrote in my article in Deccan Herald, the production of sugarcane has been revised downward 4 times in the last 1 year because of lower production in Maharashtra and Karnataka. It is not that every year, even in year of normal monsoon, things are absolutely fine in all the states. No, monsoons are always erratic in some place or the other. So I do not think it will have a very bad impact on economy. We have the wherewithal, we have the experience of tackling bad monsoon, and I'm sure that my colleagues in the agriculture ministry and food ministry, as well as in the state governments, will be able to take care of the farmers. You see, the worst impact of El Nino and erratic weather is borne by the farmers, because they are the ones who lose their crop. Sometimes the first crop does not germinate, then they have to plant it again, so they have taken loan for the first crop, so they are the worst off. And what I want is that the crop insurance scheme and other government interventions will take care of the farmers.
Absolutely right. We're picking up from our finance ministry.